It's pizza time! Let's make some pizza!
Now you want to just gently ease it out of your bowl onto your work surface. You can use a little bit of flour here if you'd like. It's not a very sticky dough, so we're working very gently not to pop any of those lovely bubbles that it has made already. Now you're going to grab a knife or a bench scraper just to divide your dough in two. If you prefer a thinner pizza base, divide your dough into 4 equal pieces. So each section of dough we are going to form into a nice ball. You can wet your hands to make it easier to handle, but you're basically just going to roll your dough over, tuck it in and roll it over itself. Gently tuck with your fingers and rolling it over onto itself. And then we are just going to turn and tuck and turn and tuck it until it's a nice little tight ball. Gentle hands, and when you have done with your ball, we're just going to set it aside and just let it rest for about 30 minutes to an hour. This dough isn't very picky. See all those nice bubbles? That's going to make our pizza dough rise so beautifully. After your dough is rested, you're going to flour your surface pretty good, and then you're going to grab your dough, scoop it up from the bottom and flip it over onto your flour so the top part is down. Make sure you flour your dough quite a bit and your hands to prevent it from sticking. Now using flat hands and flat fingers, you're going to push from the middle towards the outside, pushing gently to push the air. Turn your dough and you're going to push outwards again, always from the middle out to the furthest part. You're going to turn your dough around again and you're going to push all 4 the sides just to start making your dough a little bit bigger. Make sure that there's enough flour under your dough so that your dough does not stick to your table or your work surface, because that could cause some tears and rips. Now you're going to continue turning and pushing out from the middle to the sides to form a nice crust until you have a nice round dough, and then you can start stretching it out towards the sides as well. Gently pull it or just put your hands flat, and as you rotate it you pull apart, pull to the sides, and then make sure you have enough flour at the bottom so that it doesn't stick and cause any rips. Now you're going to go again with flat fingers and you're going to roll your thumbs outwards to the outside. The dough should stick slightly to your thumbs, and you're going to roll your thumbs to the outside and have it up away from the bench a little bit. So gravity is going to help you to stretch the dough even more. It should be quite elastic. So if you feel there's some thick parts, you just go over that part until it's as thick as or thin as you want it. If you like a much thinner pizza base, then you can stretch it out more. If you like a bit of a thicker pizza base, I'll suggest leaving it at about 1 centimeters thickness. So keep shaping until you have your desired size and thickness, and be careful not to pop the air bubbles because those are going to make it rise and have nice air pockets inside and be crispy. Now after you've stretched your dough and you find a few thick pieces that you don't like, you can just pick it up and just gently pull it out like you did with the previous motion, and you can just work around your dough until you are happy with the thickness of your dough. If you do not mind nice thick puffy crusts, just skip this part. Now you get your parchment paper ready and you flour your one hand pretty good, because you're going to flip your dough over onto your hand and then get your parchment and flip it over onto your parchment paper, and then you just stretch it so that it fits your parchment paper or your pizza stone, whatever you're going to be using, and then you can just top your pizza and pop it in the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes on a lower rack and bake it at 200 degrees Celsius. If you want the crust to be extra crispy, you can put the fan function on with the heat coming from the top and the bottom.